Formula E Stay at Home Challenge with UNICEF. Gunther on pole.
BMW!
And we go green in Monaco.
Go BMW!
Down towards turn 1. Accident.
Hi guys, this is me, Racing Wolf. Right now I am watching Formula E and I want to do my series Nothing Personal about Formula E online racing. Let's go, let's do that! Hi everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. Guys, this is Saturday 18th of April. We still continue with the quarantine with that virus and I don't think that we're gonna finish it soon.
As the disease spreads, if it spreads.
Just now I watched the Formula E racing, which they done online with their racing simulators. And when I start watching it, because I missed the starting time, so I started it in the middle of the race, and when I looked to the grid, the grid list, I was like, who is these drivers? Okay, I know Jimmy Broadbent, he is there as well. I know Steve Brown Alvarez, or Steve Alvarez Brown. Well, Super GT, he is Super GT. I know his YouTube channel. I know he is racing at Club 100. I know he is good. At the same time, I know he is good friend with the Jimmy Broadbent.
Get in the shadow realm, Jimmy. Wait.
Guys, if you can hear me, remember I still want to do camera chat for my Need for Speed series.
Is it possible to be equal? The championship?
No. Can only be one winner.
All my contacts in the description down below. If anyone know them, let them know the same information, yeah?
Jimmy!
Yeah, and then I know these two drivers. I know there was the other YouTubers like Archie Hamilton and some other famous people. But I was like, what? Is that going to be the same like Formula One?
I don't know. I've never seen him sim race, so that's just assuming.
And we even not going to have any Formula E driver from the real life Formula E?
We've got a few Formula E drivers here. James Rossiter raced or drove in Free Practice 1 in Marrakesh a couple of months ago when Jean-Eric Verne was ill.
And I was disappointed, but I kept watching, you know, because I like how Jimmy Broadbent racing, and he started at the P17.
We got Jimmy Broadbent. He's in Envision Virgin Racing's car, starting down in 17th position, and Charlie Martin brings up the back of the grid.
And what is the most interesting for me was in this race, after third lap, the drivers from the back, the last driver, been eliminated.
Now Kai Baccini has dropped to the back of the field. He's now behind Mike Channel, so as it stands it would be Kai Baccini who would be eliminated at the end of this lap.
And all the way up to P10, so the total race is 15 lap. After 3 laps, they eliminating the last driver every lap. And I was like, wow, that's something really interesting.
And here we are at the back of the grid. This is the part where you don't want to be. These guys are going to fight tooth and nail not to be last.
Is Mike Channel, and they've got until the end of this lap to not be last. They're so far behind everyone. Oh,
Bikini's gone.
And I was like, wow, that's something, at least it's something different than we have with the Formula One. So I was like, okay, let's watch it. So, and it was amazing battle. Jimmy Broadbent from 17th moved to the 14th, and he's been eliminated.
At the moment, Jimmy Broadbent trying to get past Joel Eriksson to try and stay in the race. So this is big stuff here for Jimmy Broadbent. He looks a little bit too far back from the Dragon car.
I kept watching, and I was like, wow, that's interesting, you know, let's watch it to the end. So the race finished, really, you know, it was not only interesting because of the rules, but at the same time, it was interesting because of the driving styles, because when you watch Formula E in a real life, yeah, you understand that the Formula E has a different control driving style, but you can't see through the TV where they sliding around the corners, where with the sim racers, and they're good sim racers, you can see how difficult to control that car, because if you press the throttle too much, and we need to remember, Formula E, this is electric engine cars, yeah, it's no petrol, no diesel, no any liquid, it's only pure electric energy. So when you press the throttle too much, the energy from the pedal to the engines go instantly, and then into the wheels it goes straight away. The amount of pedal you pressed, that amount of power goes onto the wheel. It's not like a petrol engine where you press it and the engine like start building up the revs. No, on an electric engine the revs go straight away, boom.
Oh no, locks the rears. Shortcuts the course.
Big slide for Jimmy Broadbent.
And in a sim racing, on that simulators, you can see how difficult to control that cars, because you know you don't have that feelings like in the real life where you have a G-force feelings, where you have you can feel underneath you where the wheel spins or anything like this.
Yeah, you see 3 seconds to go. He doesn't make it now, no, and he's still lifting and coasting. The car's beeping at you, it's telling you when to lift, when to coast, when to save energy. And if you just stay on the throttle a fraction earlier, that's fine.
You can't feel it on the simulators. So you can see lots of sliding around the corner. You can see lots of sliding on the braking points.
It's a much different focus required to drive a simulator, not make a mistake.
Wow. That's a petrol. That's a petrol. By the way, the race was at the Monaco Grand Prix. It was a Monaco Grand Prix, so it was on the streets of the Monaco.
In the real world, Monaco is incredibly hard to pass on.
Okay, so they finished the race, and I was like, right, okay, that was nice, that was interesting. And then I was like, okay, let's just listen a little bit what's gonna happen in the next race. And then commentator said, and now we're moving into the Formula E. They called it pre-season test or test race, something like this. And I was like, Formula E, wow, are we gonna have one more race? And yes, we had qualifying with all Formula E drivers, all of them in the same teams, in the same cars, the same drivers. My favorite BMW, Alexander Sims, Maximilian Günther. Yeah, so there was Bird, Di Grasio, Da Costa, all the other drivers as well, all the teams, and they had a qualifying. And I was like, wow, that's cool. All drivers.
That's look at the groups then for the Formula E race at home drivers race.
Then after qualifying, they had the same 15 laps race with the 22 drivers, 11 teams, 22 drivers, 15 lap race with the same rules. Last driver after third lap, last driver eliminated. After 15 laps, race finished. So during the qualifying, BMW, Maximilian Günther, P1, amazing.
It's really good fun to have this here taking place. Like race in real life, but
My team, my car, brilliant. You know what? You never going to see start of the race like this in a real life. Never, because they've been pushing their limits. They've been the first lap after start finish. As soon as the green light comes up, the first corner is okay, second corner is okay, then
And we go green in Monaco. Down towards turn 1. Max Günther holds the lead. Van Dorn in second, Lotterer in third, but Verne goes up the inside, and there's a bit of contact further back as Nick Cassidy hits Lotterer. The two go side by side. The Porsche of Lotterer.
We've got chaos.
It's season 1 all over again. Season 1 all over again.
the best start of the race. Of course, I don't want to see it in a real life, to be honest with you, because it's crazy. But on the simulators, it's fun. It's amazing. Maximilian Günther with BMW, he stays at P1, and all the way to the end, he was P1. It wasn't easy race for him.
Gunter's he's got to try and get away, but Van Dorn's got to keep the pressure on, because if he allows that gap to go, it's going to allow Max Günther just to relax a little bit, get into his rhythm. And Stoffel Van Dorn cannot allow that.
Alexander Sims, he's been eliminated, and I think he's been eliminated very, very quickly.
Sims is off the back of the field. Da Costa, Antonio Felix Da Costa, our championship leader, is next to be eliminated.
Yeah, and during the race, we could see how the drivers was fighting for their positions, because the drivers was so risky. They was overtaking in the places where it's literally impossible. It wasn't every time successful. No.
The race has settled down a bit now, hasn't it? Because initially,
Oh yeah, clearly, Jack.
Come on, God, what is the point in talking?
But they was doing it. They was going for the limits.
And does he fancy a move? Yes, he does, into the harbour hairpin. Sends it up the inside, and Verne loses 2 places.
So yeah, guys, BMW P1, P2 was Mercedes. Yeah, it was a Stoffel Van Dorn.
The pre-season race of the ABB FIA Formula E Championship's new race at home series is going to be won by Max Günther. Günther across the line, he wins the race at home challenge. Stoffel Van Dorn in second place.
Yeah, so this was the test race. Then I found that they going to do another online 8 races, and they're going to get the points for the races.
The next 7 events will follow the traditional Formula E scoring system, with extra points for Julius Baer pole position and fastest lap.
So, as far as I understand, another 8 races. This is another 8 weeks of quarantine. Guys, I'm waiting for the next race of Formula E, and it's, for me, it's already interesting. All the links for their channel in the description. You can click. Where is that going to be? Here. Yeah, up here. I'll leave the link just up here. You see this white line? This is where is. You click on that one, and you will get. You will go to their channel straight away to that race, exactly that race. So yeah, I'm gonna follow it. You, if you like racing, do the same, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya. BMW.